I'm going to fly the drone over now. I'm going to just take off.
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed. There's overhead lines, power lines. It's against the law. You do that, we'll phone the police and you'll be arrested.
Oh, don't phone police. Come on, that'd be silly, wouldn't it? I will be quick, I promise. I'll fly over, and you'll just see it go across a few times, and I won't be long, yeah? See my drone licence?
Yeah.
You don't need to...
Flying it over our facility, I need to see your licence.
You don't need to see my licence. Why would you need to see my licence?
Property, and we've got intellectual property on that
I'm about to take it over now.
You're not taking it over.
I'm definitely...
Phone the police.
Don't phone police. Come on, that's silly, isn't it? Just for a bit of drone footage.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be silly. Come on. I've two of them now.
Stop filming as well.
But, come on, don't be like that. Come on.
You've been asked politely 3 times.
You're at 999 in that, are you? Oh, are you kidding? Ring 101, that'll take ages, 101, won't it? But so I'm going to take it off soon, but don't be like that, come on.
Calling 999 for a non-emergency is a waste of police resources and takes officers away from genuine incidents. The fact that security escalated the situation so quickly shows a clear lack of understanding of the law. Instead of dealing with the matter reasonably, they immediately called the police, hoping officers would support their position. This highlights a larger issue. Businesses and call handlers should have a better understanding of public photography laws to avoid wasting police time on lawful activities. Too often, police are called simply because someone dislikes being filmed, even when no laws are being broken. When officers arrive at the scene, one of them quickly reveals a surprising lack of knowledge about public filming and photography laws.
Do you want to tell me then what you've been doing?
I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't need to tell you.
Right, okay.
You've just come here and just accosted me for nothing.
Right.
We've got guys out there shouting through, he needs to delete that footage.
Yes.
I need to delete my footage.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
There are basically 3 rules with filming. Very similar to the use of CCTV. Yeah?
Here we go, come on.
If you're filming yourself, you can do what you like.
Ooh, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're filming me, you can do what you like, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
More than welcome to. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're filming a private space, so if you are filming, well, initially if you're filming a public space, you can do, but you need to be willing to show that footage to whoever asks. You also need to comply with the Data Protection Act, which means that you need to be willing to delete that footage should they ask you to.
The officer claims that anyone filming in a public place must show their footage to anyone who asks and delete it if requested under the Data Protection Act. This is completely false and demonstrates a serious misunderstanding of the law. The Data Protection Act 2018 applies mainly to organizations and businesses that process personal data. It does not generally require private individuals filming for personal purposes to show or delete their recordings simply because someone requests it. There is also no law requiring a member of the public to hand over footage just because it was recorded in a public place. The situation becomes even more concerning when the officer argues that the auditor is carrying out surveillance and therefore needs authorization under the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act, commonly known as RIPA. This is incorrect. RIPA applies to covert surveillance conducted by public authorities such as police forces, intelligence agencies, and local councils. It does not apply to a private individual filming in public for personal use, journalism, or online content creation. If that were true, every tourist, journalist, and vlogger carrying a camera would be breaking the law. The officer appears to be citing legislation that has no relevance to the situation, seemingly in an attempt to intimidate the auditor into compliance.
No, yeah, you've got that all wrong, honestly.
No, I haven't.
Of course you have.
No, I haven't, because
it was covered by data protection, right? Can I just explain that? I'll tell you that. I'll let you on. I'll let you know then, yeah?
Go on then.
Data protection only applies to businesses. It doesn't apply to individuals. There you go. Look, that's your first mistake, yeah?
It does apply to individuals. And if you're saying it only applies to businesses, that's a business, and they've asked you to delete it.
No, I'm not a business so I don't have to delete it.
Right, you do.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Asked you to.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Because otherwise, no, I'm not talking rubbish, because otherwise, what you're doing is surveillance. Have you got a RIPA? Have you applied for a RIPA? Do you know what a RIPA is?
A what, sorry?
A RIPA.
What's a RIPA?
A RIPA?
No.
A RIPA is the paperwork to allow you to do surveillance, which is what you're doing with that.
Under UK law, a private individual has no legal obligation to delete footage simply because someone asks them to. Any lawful requirement to remove or surrender footage would normally need to come through proper legal channels, such as a court order. Police officers cannot demand the deletion of footage without a valid legal basis. Even when footage is seized as part of a criminal investigation under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, commonly known as PACE, the action must be supported by evidence of an actual offence. That is clearly not the case here. Any attempt to force the deletion of lawful recordings without proper authority could raise serious concerns about the misuse of police powers.
I'm not doing surveillance, that's silly. I'm doing aerial photography.
Yeah, which is surveillance. Form of surveillance.
Can you identify yourself, please? Because you just walked up to me. And yourself, lady. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, what you are doing is surveillance. You've just said you're taking photographs. Yeah?
I haven't said that. I've not confirmed anything.
Right, that's a form of surveillance. You're telling me that you're filming, that you've filmed over there. That is a company. They've asked you to delete the footage of what you're filming there, of what you filmed there.
I won't be deleting.
Are you refusing to do so?
Well, obviously, there's
Why?
nobody. I'll tell you what. I'll let you know.
Right.
Then I'll let you know the law. That yeah.
Right.
Only a court can make me delete that footage.
Right.
Yeah.
The officer's claims continue to fall apart under scrutiny. There is no government ombudsman that prosecutes people for taking photographs or recording videos in public. While the UK does have regulatory bodies that oversee data protection, their powers are aimed at businesses and organisations that handle personal data, not private individuals filming in public spaces. As previously explained, laws relating to surveillance, including RIPA, apply to public authorities carrying out covert operations. There is no requirement for an ordinary member of the public to obtain authorization before recording from a lawful location. The suggestion that the auditor could face massive fines simply for filming a factory is equally misleading. Such penalties are generally associated with companies that mishandle personal data, not private citizens recording in public. At best, the officer is badly misinformed. At worst, he is attempting to intimidate the auditor with consequences that have no legal basis.
Right.
There you go. You can't delete it, you can't ask me to.
Right.
Well, you can ask me to, but I don't have
There
to.
is a government ombudsman that deals with footage like that.
Lovely.
Okay?
Yeah.
They can take you to court, certainly,
God. Yeah.
and they will prosecute you, and they will fine you. And it is hundreds of thousands of pounds, because it's the same rules and regulations that we use for surveillance.
All I would say is, good luck trying to get £100,000 out of me. I literally haven't got £100,000.
If you don't pay that, then it's potentially a prison sentence, then, isn't it?
Ooh, prison. God, I don't want to get in prison.
This claim is not only wrong but highly misleading. The Data Protection Act regulates how organizations and businesses handle personal information, not how private individuals record videos in public places. There is no legal basis for arresting someone simply because they are filming from a lawful position. Even if a company were found to have breached data protection laws, the outcome would usually involve regulatory action or financial penalties rather than criminal charges leading to arrest. What makes this situation even more remarkable is that the officer making these claims does not appear to have the power to carry out an arrest himself. His statement that he would need other officers to attend strongly suggests that he is a police community support officer rather than a fully warranted police constable.
I'm asking you nicely, will you delete the footage that you filmed over there?
You can ask, can't you?
I can ask. Will now.
I've not confirmed or denied whether I'm going to delete the footage.
Will you delete the footage? Please.
What would you do if I don't delete the footage? I'm going back over in a minute. The drone's going back up in a minute.
Okay, well, potentially we can get officers here to arrest you and take you away.
Arrest me for what? Go on, listen,
Right,
what
for
law?
breach of data protection.
That's not. You're under arrest for breach of data protection.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to say anything when questioned. Yeah. Under arrest for data protection. Oh my God.
The auditor asks whether the officer intends to leave, but instead of ending the encounter, the officer openly refuses. He even admits that he is remaining at the scene despite knowing the situation is going nowhere. To make matters worse, he insists that he will not leave until the footage is deleted, despite having no legal authority to enforce such a demand. At this stage, the issue no longer appears to be about the law. It seems to be about control. The officer knows he cannot legally force the auditor to delete anything, yet he continues to stay, apparently hoping that pressure and persistence will achieve what the law cannot. Rather than resolving the situation professionally, he turns a minor issue into an unnecessary confrontation.
Just say you're talking nonsense.
I'm
You
not.
really are talking
I'm
nonsense. When the actual police officer gets here,
Yeah.
if I bother waiting for him, I might just get the footage now and drive off on my bike.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might just do that, but we'll see anyway. I'll tell you what, we'll wait for the officer to come and he will tell you you're talking absolute nonsense. You'll just walk off like and that'll be it. Get in the car and go. Are you going to go now so I can finish my drone footage?
No, I'm not.
You're not going to go?
No, I'm not. No. You seem to be enjoying filming me, so.
This is crazy. So, are you going to waste police time just by standing here?
Yeah, because you're intent on doing that, so...
I'm not intent on wasting police time. I'd like you to go so I can finish my drone footage.
Well, I've asked you to delete the footage, I've asked you to show me the footage, you refused both.
This statement has no legal foundation whatsoever. There is no law in the UK that requires a private individual to show their footage to others, explain why they are keeping it, or seek permission from a police officer before recording in public. This moment perfectly illustrates how some officials attempt to rely on authority rather than actual legislation when dealing with members of the public. Instead of explaining the law correctly, the officer appears to be creating requirements that simply do not exist. The result is not only confusion but the spread of misinformation. Moments later, a police constable arrives after being called by the PCSO, whose earlier comments had already exposed a significant lack of understanding of the relevant laws.